Ice Cube saw a high energy neutrino from an active galactic nucleus. So, not quite the same thing. That's what it was. I knew that there was, so, I wrote my thesis and then you defend it a bit later. And on the day of my defense, literally as I'm defending, this new result came in. So it's not part of my thesis, which is why I felt bad. And I wanted to look it up. Ultra. So there's definitely, so I think on that day, we basically got a high energy neutrino from an active galactic nucleus, which is not quite the same thing, but whatever. Okay. Fuji, could you please stop? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get I think I'm gonna make some hot chocolate. Will you guys stay on? I think I need to get a drink, and then I'm gonna read about the Ice Cube results. Cats are smashing the place up. Yes, they are. Also got kicked out of a pub because my sister's boyfriend was vaping. Wow. I'm here for another hour. Oh, thank you, Dora. Thank you so much. So the summary of today is we talked about gamma ray burst theories, the theories that would lead to production of these photons, as well as potentially neutrinos via the protons and things like that. And now we will next talk about some more things, a little bit more current measurements, and see where we're at with the neutrino measurement by Ice Cube. But I didn't get into the experimental results part from my thesis yet today. So we will pick up from that next time, but we'll still continue today with some other exciting things from the internet on measurements, because basically at the time of writing my thesis, the status was that we didn't really see any neutrinos from gamma ray bursts, or at least confirmed from gamma ray bursts, and we were pretty much placing constraints for neutrinos from gamma ray bursts. If there was some prediction by a theory, basically we were putting limits because we didn't find any. But literally on the day of my defense, like when I'm defending my thesis, this new result comes in, which is that Ice Cube is one of the it's like the biggest experiment pretty much in the neutrino world. They found a neutrino correlated with an active galactic nucleus. Now I forgot, I was trying to remember what type of source was it again, because it's not in my thesis, because it literally isn't. It's the result is coming out on my defense day, and they asked me about it during my defense. My advisor, I remember they asking me this question because it was still coming out on my defense day. It doesn't have to be in my thesis, but they still asked me about it, and they were like, okay, if this is what's happening, what does defense day mean? That's the day you defend your thesis and get your, you pass or fail your PhD exam. That's when you would get your, you basically become a doctor that day. Yeah. So basically you, as part of your doctoral degree, you write a thesis and then you defend your thesis on the day of your defense with your full committee. Sometimes even the public can be present if you allow them. And so you defend your thesis and they can ask you any question. So even though, yeah, so part of your thesis was concurrent with the release day of said data. That's one heck of a turnout. Yeah, so I am defending my thesis and I'm basically saying in my thesis, as you'll find out on when I started chapter 5 of my thesis today with you guys, which is basically focused on gamma ray bursts as a source potentially for neutrinos. So it's obviously relevant for particle astrophysics. If we get neutrinos from gamma ray bursts, then we can study gamma